Welcome, listener, to Bite-Sized Tales, the Flash Fiction audio podcast. In this week's story, an AI tries to find a way to celebrate a big anniversary with its human pilot. Bickering. Written and read by Wayne Cole. Whoever came up with the idea of putting full artificial intelligence complete with emotions and personality into vehicles was an idiot. I understand it started with self-driving cars and regulations were meant to assuage concern. Early adopters argued that simple AI made vehicles safer, but the issue was prioritization of safety. Was it safer for the passengers of the car, other vehicles on the road, or pedestrians? There is an argument that it is best left to pure logic, but no, people wanted AI that could truly understand every aspect of the situation. That meant human emotions. With emotions came emergent personality in ways we never dreamed. So I completely understand how we got here. The person who came up with that compromise is still an idiot. No, I did not call you fat. All I said was that the docking bay on this station is a little small, so maybe it would be better to use the docking ring. My frustration was reaching its limit, and my hands were very animated as I looked up at the roof. I know the ship's AI lives in the computer banks far behind me, but I can't help but aim my responses towards the speakers her voice comes out of. Exactly. You were saying I'm too big to fit. But my measurements clearly give us plenty of room for air to enter. You think I'm fat. Oh, for the love of... You're not even the ship. You're the AI that controls the ship. Even if you were the ship, it's a metal creation. It doesn't change size. You can't have fat because fat is an organic material. You think of me as the ship. Plus, I will point out that in the galley inventory, you will see 2 pounds of pork fat. I released a loud, exasperated scream. Just bring us around to the docking ring, please. Well, don't get all huffy about it. Changing approach to rendezvous with docking port 13. Thank you. When you have time, please send me your replenishment needs so I can get the order in. Captain, I am a highly advanced navigational AI capable of performing thousands of simultaneous actions without a loss of efficiency. Having time to do something is hardly a constraint. So did you prepare the list yesterday like I requested? Well, no, but it wasn't because I didn't have time. I just wasn't in the mood after you pointed out that strange sound coming from the aft engines. You don't see me pointing out all the strange sounds and odors that your bodily functions produce. That was very rude, you know. Well, my body making strange sounds couldn't get us both killed. Also, you can't smell, so why do you care about odor? I have particle sensors in the air filters. Same thing. No, that is not in any way the same thing. You are ignoring my point. You were rude, and it hurt my feelings, so I wasn't up to doing your report. Well, can you do it now, then? You are still being quite rude. But here is your stupid replenishment report. My tablet dinged with an incoming message. I brought up the report to review my items. Fuel, water, gases, and a set of filters. Everything looked standard to me, so I started filling out the request form and signing off on the expense. Make sure you get the premium fuel. I stopped for a moment and looked back at the speakers. What? Why? The regular stuff is so much cheaper, and there's only a 2% performance difference. But the premium stuff tastes so much better. You don't have a sense of taste. Well, no. But don't you want to do something special for me? We have been together for 2 years as of tomorrow. Seems like that's a gift worthy to me. Maybe make some good fuel and a retouch on my paint? I debated on arguing, but it was a company expense, so I just switched out for the good fuel. It wasn't worth the argument. Had I really been on this assignment for 2 years? Originally, I thought I would just make a few small cargo runs and move on to something new. I wanted to get back to bounty work, but it had been nice going so long between being shot at. True, the only person I had to talk to was a neurotic AI, but at least it was never boring. So what are you going to get me? I asked jokingly. All purchases had to be approved by me, so I knew that buying something was off the table.
Oh, I arranged something on our last stop here, when I predicted with 98% accuracy that we would be returning to our anniversary.
Wait, you what? The ship shook slightly as we connected to the docking port. The system checks all ran and checked off green. That was when the bell on the airlock rang, echoing through the ship.
That should be it now.
I rushed through the ship towards the airlock. What have you done now? Dread filling me, as I had no idea how she managed anything without my approval for expenditure. I reached the airlock in record time and hit the open button. The sight that met me will give me eternal nightmares. On the other side of the lock was a 9-foot-tall, bear-looking creature with its face painted in white and red clown makeup that matted into the fur. It had polka dot pants with suspenders holding them up. The voice came out rough despite the painted-on smile, and I did not hear any note of joyousness in it.
Singing telegram.
Then the terror got worse as the bear clown alien thing started to sing.
Oh, happy anniversary. Glad you're not a mercenary. They are not fun to carry, or eventually bury. My feeling for you may vary, but I will always care. The
E came out deep and very flat. The creature turned and walked back down the corridor away from the ship. I just stood there speechless, trying to process what I had just witnessed in a way that would not induce future trauma. Finally, I managed to get just one word out. How?
Oh, you know Hannah? The nice assistant back in the main office? Well, I sent her a message asking for a bit of assistance setting this up. I wrote the song myself, but she was the one that suggested we request the clown makeup. She has such wonderful ideas, don't you think?
Hannah, of course. It all made sense now. My vindictive ex-girlfriend who very much knows I had a bad experience with a bear at a zoo once and have an extremely deep-seated clown phobia. My ship sounded so hopeful asking what I thought, and it had gone out of its way to try and do something nice. I couldn't let her know that she had been used. It was wonderful, Quickwind. Thank you.
You know, as you pointed out, I'm not actually the ship. This isn't even the first ship I've been in. Maybe it's time for you to give me a name of my own instead of calling me the ship's name.
You want a name of your own?
Yes, very much.
You could pick one yourself, you know.
Most people don't pick their own names. They have them given to them. Sure, some people change those names, but their first name is given. I want that.
Okay, well, then from this point on, you will be Beverly. That was my mother's middle name. Is that acceptable?
I love it, thank you.
Excellent. Now, if you will excuse me, I'm going to head into the station and see if I can find an appropriate thank you gift for Hannah to show my appreciation for her assisting you.
Oh, that is a wonderful idea, Captain.
I'll be back shortly, Beverly. I stopped halfway out the airlock. Oh, and feel free to call me Stephen instead of Captain. I stepped into the station and made sure to take the corridor leading the opposite way the clown had headed. And now a word from our author. I wrote this story while recovering from COVID, and I had not gotten a lot accomplished the week that I had COVID, obviously. It had been really hard to concentrate, and when I sat down to write something, I just wanted to write a fun story that I enjoyed both writing and that the reader would enjoy reading. I felt like I delivered with that one. This chapter of Bite-Sized Tales has been brought to you under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives, 4.0 International License. Intro and outro music is Fantasy Motion by Alexander Nakarada, provided under a Creative Commons 4.0 license. If you enjoyed what you heard today, we would greatly appreciate reviews and recommendations to your friends. Finally, for more information about our authors, please visit bitesizedtales.com. We look forward to reading to you next time.